Roopesh, how are you? Yeah,
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I am also doing good. So I was just thinking about the other chat that we were discussing about the injury, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes.
So it was, and I thought, why not record this and put it also, this also.
Sure,
We
sir.
were
We can take it.
discussing, yeah, we were discussing offline, but what's the point in we keeping our knowledge with ourselves? So let's
Absolutely.
impart some knowledge to somebody else also. Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so what I will try to do is I will try to open up the chart. Okay.
Sure, sure, sure. Sure.
Then we can
And this
step by
also
step.
seems to be very interesting chart, sir. Like we can literally see the transparency of combinations working on it, and
Yeah.
exactly at this time point.
Hmm. Yeah. The ALP, that is what is good, right? It tells you at what time this incident will happen, good or bad, what time it will happen, and how that is like mind blowing. Okay. It's
Absolutely.
really,
Absolutely.
we know traditional, but it takes care of the traditional. Apart from it, hits on the time. That is the best part in this.
True. 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 That's true. That's true.
Shall I shall I try to share my screen with
Yes,
that
please.
application? Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, please.
Give me a second. Chart, spinal cord chart. Okay.
Hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. 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 It's visible for me now.
So for the general the information that what's ALP? ALP is generally for the general public. Okay. So ALP is concept where the lagna gets moved every 10 years.
Yes.
The
Yes.
concept is basically as we age, the lagna also moves based on this. So every 10 years is what the lagna moves. The concept is Vimshottri Dasa 20 years is divided by 12 rasis. So 10 years is allocated per house. So every 10
Absolutely.
years it keeps on moving, and we also see the D9 of it, and then we predict and we give. So it gives a pretty good accurate timing details and the incident details. It's like we don't consider other houses for education except the second house. Like in the traditional,
Correct.
we'll say for all those things we'll be checking. Okay. In this, we don't see. We see the lagna where it falls, and the second house too is education. It could be PhD or could be anything. It will fall on that. Okay.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you see the second house. Only difference is when it's PhD, we say research. Research is fifth house. We'll see if there is anything connected. That's how we will see, but we won't put full emphasis on the other house. Second house is what we emphasize. So, like that, for marriage means seventh house is what we emphasize. Sickness means only sixth house. So,
So,
like, we don't
yes.
look at other houses for this thing. So, and that's how concept in ALP is. So, I think that's very brief about ALP. We want to make it a bit short, so we just will dive into this chart and we'll try to discuss this how the spinal cord issue is seen.
Sure,
Okay,
sir. Definitely. Definitely.
Rupesh, you want to start?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Like I can take it. And as we can see, ALP is running in Makara Rashi in Uttarashada Nakshatra, fourth pada. So the positioning of ALP itself gets in the eighth house to the birth lagna. The progression of ALP becomes eighth house to the birth lagna. So which is considered to be a Dusthana. Eighth house we know, right? It is considered to be a
Yeah,
Dusthana. From birth
yeah.
lagna, eighth house. So it clearly indicates at this point of time the native should undergo some or the other health related hospitalization issues at this 10 years of time period. But
It
in
is
this
from
10
this is the lagna. This is the lagna, and what you're saying is from here when you come, this is the eighth house.
eighth house.
Yeah. Okay.
So in this time period, exactly at what time period will the natal will undergo these kind of effects? So if we
Yeah.
further integrate this lagna and if we see, so
Mm.
currently we can see the ALP point is running in Uttarashada Nakshatra. So Uttarashada Nakshatra
Yeah.
here becomes the sun becomes the owner of Uttarashada Nakshatra.
Correct. Yeah.
and Sun becomes the eighth lord for ALP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eighth lord for ALP. So ALP point from Birth Lagna is going in eighth house, and also ALP Nakshatra is also taking the essence of eighth lord here.
Yeah. Uttarshada,
So
right?
yes, sir. So which
Yeah.
here we can clearly understand at this particular of time period, which means that in the time period of Uttarashada Nakshatra, the natal is subjected for these kind of sufferings. So we can
Yeah.
conclude an ALP point is traveling in Uttarashada Nakshatra, it is must and sure that natal
Mm.
will undergo a suffering related to health, hospitalization, surgery, all these things at this point of time.
That to prolonged health because 8th house, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's
Prolongation.
chronic
Yeah.
also. It's
Yeah,
chronic
it's
too.
chronic. Yeah. Yeah.
It's chronic too. And here if we look,
Mm.
uh, the ALP Lagna Lord. The next point is the ALP Lagna Lord, who becomes the Saturn. Saturn is getting positioned in the 10th house to ALP, that too in an exalted state.
Yeah.
So, as per one of the rules in ALP, which we call as the rule of indicators, that is 6, 8, 10, 12 houses.
Mm.
So, the ALP Lagna Lord itself is placed in the 10th house.
Yeah.
So, which means the Lagna Lord, because any planet which sits in the 10th house will tend to release its karma on the natal to, you know, complete it.
Yeah.
So, here ALP Lagna Lord in 10th house, that in an exalted state, and he becomes Saturn too.
Mm.
So, one of the Saturn's Karakatva will also indicate hospitalization.
Yeah. Okay.
And
One
and
more
here
connectivity, no? I saw one more connectivity. Shani is in Swati, and ALP Swati Ragu is also in that ALP house itself.
ALP house itself, yes, absolutely. This is also one of the
Yeah.
connection, and we can see Saturn is getting connected to Ketu. Saturn's 10th aspect is on Ketu.
Yeah. Saturn 10th, correct.
So there is Rahu and Ketu getting connected to Saturn here, the Lagna Lord.
Yeah.
So Rahu
And
Ketu
here
effect,
also, this is also getting connected. Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
So Lagna Lord getting the connection of Rahu Ketu, we definitely know it will indicate a severe problem pertaining to health issues.
Perfect. Yeah.
And also we can see the connection of 8th house, which tells it is chronic.
Yeah.
And next, focusing on the ALP Nakshatra Lord, that is Sun. Sun
Mm.
is getting placed in the 11th house. Even though Sun is getting placed in the 11th house to ALP, he is getting connected to 6th house, 6th Lord Mercury here.
Okay.
6 and
It
8
is in
connection.
Jyeshta. It is in Jyeshta Nakshatra.
Jyeshta Nakshatra, yes. Sun also is in Jyeshta Nakshatra and Mercury Nakshatra, who becomes the 8th Lord and getting connected to 6th Lord. And we can exactly, one of the most beautiful concept here is that we can clearly see that the 5th Lord becomes Venus for ALP.
From here, this is a fifth lord. Yeah.
5th Lord. So
Mm.
here, the 5th Lord Venus is getting connected to 8th and 6th Lord. That is Sun and Mercury, Venus, all are in the 11th house. Sun becomes the
Yeah.
8th lord, Mercury becomes the 6th lord. He is getting connected to 5th lord. 5th house is the house
Yeah.
of spinal cord.
Correct. Yeah.
So, very clearly indicating a problem related to spine, brain, and nervous system.
Yeah.
And we can also see the ALP 12th lord, who becomes Jupiter,
Mm.
getting placed in the 5th house.
Okay.
And he also aspects 5th lord Venus.
Yeah.
5th lord Venus.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. So it's very clear case of this, but it would have started long time back. Okay, if you look at it now, this is not something that would have happened now. Now it is Uttarashada. Okay,
Yes, sir.
but Sun being in the 11th, we can, normally we'll say it is good. Okay, but if you go back, okay, if you say Dhanush, if you keep the ALP in Dhanush, okay, you would have seen this problem happening there itself. Even in Puradam itself, the problem would have started because Puradam is in the 12th to ALP. If I say ALP is here, that is, if I go back, this is.
Answer, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So if
sir.
I say, if I go back, say about by.
It would have started as an acute issue, but now it has turned out to be chronic. Yes.
So if I go back, not 2024, sorry. Go back, maybe 16, I'll try to go back. If I keep ALP here, so Purvashada, okay, Purvashada is Chukran, if you take Chukran.
Yes, sir.
So Chukran is in the 12th house. Then also all this that we spoke about, this house, this becomes the 6th house.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, now let me clear it out. So when you look at it, this becomes the 6th house.
6 and 11 is getting connected. Yes.
Connected, and this is the 12th house. This is sitting at 12th. So when you see there itself, this is the starting point.
Starting point. Yes,
where
absolutely.
it has started. Okay, it has started, and you would have been complaining, going. First, all this when the Puradam first padam, it would have started.
Yes.
Then second, third, fourth, it would have gone up. When it came to Sun, the bone issues should have come up to the light. They would have realized there is something wrong with the bone, the backbone.
And here
Medical
also, you can see here also it is indicating spinal cord because the ALP Lagna Lord Jupiter is placed in Mrigashira Nakshatra, where Mars becomes the owner of again 5th and 12th house.
Yeah, 5th and 12th house, correct.
And Mars is aspecting ALP Lagna Lord.
From here, this
8th aspect.
Yeah.
Mars 8th aspect on Jupiter. So the 5th Lord aspect is there. 5th house, as we know, it is spinal cord. 5th Lord, 5th house.
Yeah.
So ALP Lagna Lord placed in the 6th house, that was in 5th Lord's essence.
Yeah. So already it is showing the same problem. Okay. So we can actually see it's not something that has come up today. Actually, it has started sometime back, way back in 2015 or something like that. It would have started it. Because now I'm seeing only Purvashada 4th pada. That means another 3 years we have to add to it. Okay. So when you add 3 more years, so it will be 16, 15, 14, almost 2012 itself, you would have started having these problems.
Chances are high, sir. Yes, it would have started very active.
Early. So it has started, it has been developing, it has come to this stage. Okay. So that is what we can see. It has come here. So if I go back to today's time, okay. I go back to today's time. Okay, there is one more point also we discussed. To us, it looked like cancer, right? And the report is also suggesting that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is suspected.
You got the reports because they said they'll share it.
Still, they haven't shared, but however, they suspect the same, sir, because they can see that there is some amount of growth that has been that is getting attached to spinal cord. So this is what the diagnosis has revealed. But as far as the report wise, they haven't shared me anything yet. But we have this report itself, which is clearly
telling us, like before itself, we said we will have a cancer. Okay, likely to have a cancer. So can you just go through that cancer concept so that others can understand?
Definitely, sir. Because we can see the Rahu itself is getting placed in Uttarashada Nakshatra in the chart. The ALP star itself, we can see Rahu getting placed. And we can see the aspect of Guru on Sun.
Bone issues. Okay.
Guru and Sun. Saturn and Ketu again.
Correct. So basically for cancer, Guru has to have a role because growth.
He needs to support. Yes, sir.
He has to support. If he does not support, then there is no cancer. So it's a support. And Vakram also.
Correct.
sitting in Mars. So probably you will have all these problems, bone marrow problems, all those things will have. Growth, you are already confirming that he is already saying that they are seeing growth.
Yes.
So from a regular pain, it has moved to cancerous state.
Yes.
So all these things we have seen from one chart.
And if you look at the D9 point also, so the D9 point for ALP, it is going in the third house, whereas for 8th house, it is going in 8th to 8th house.
For the 8th house, that is your Surya, right?
Yes, sir.
Uttarshada 4th pada means in this thing it will be falling on Magam 3rd, right?
Yeah, for 8th house, it will be in Makha Nakshatra 3rd quadrant.
Third quadrant, and the D9 for it will fall on again on this thing, on the lagna itself, on the natal lagna. That is your Midhunam.
Yes, sir. It
will fall on Midhunam. Okay. So trouble is very clearly shown. We agreed to the point saying that he will have cancer, and now we got the confirmation, almost medical confirmation that he has got cancer.
Yes, absolutely.
It's beautiful, no? Like what we see, wherever we are saying, okay, and reports are also coming according.
Yes. Correct.
So I hope everybody learned something, some point they got from this thing. So it's a very nice, interesting case to study difficult cases. We are seeing when it started, what is it now? We also saw it's moving to cancer, and which is being confirmed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nice study chat for us. Okay. Thanks, Roopesh, for
Thank you, sir.
sharing this chat.
Thanks a lot.
And we study about this chat.
Sure, sir.
So,
Sure.
nice. We will do similar chats again and again for some more things. I think we should do more about marriages and birth chats also, because that is what most of the people are asking for.
Yes, sir. We shall
A couple
definitely.
of successful marriage cases, those things we'll study and we'll tell people about it. Okay.
Absolutely. With ALP, though, we can do anything, sir. With related to the subject astrology.
Yeah.
With ALP, though, we can literally do anything, because that is the confidence that the founder Murthy sir has given.
Yes. And this is medical astrology, right? This is what is medical astrology.
Absolutely.
No confusions. Clear cut. This is what it is.
Yes.
Murthy has done a good job in teaching us all these concepts. Very good.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay, Roopesh. Thanks a lot for sharing.
Thank you, sir.
I hope everybody learns it. Okay. Thanks, boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.